Overall, this has to be one of the least fun games I have ever played, and I have never played a Metroid game as a whole, and I'm horribly disappointed this is my first, and I pray the other ones are better. I put in about 4 hours in the Metroid Prime 4 and I quit, and I'm actually going to return the game, and here's why. From what I know of Metroid Prime on the GameCube, is that it is a legendary genre defining of what a first-person adventure should be. However, as I also have heard, it's a watered down Halo, so I really wanted to understand and get to know what Metroid Prime 4 and what the Metroid Prime series actually entails. So I thought Metroid Prime 4 would be a good first game because I thought it a large dislike toward the game, and me having never played a Metroid before, it'd give me a pretty clear and unbiased eyes. But wow, oh my gosh, a lot of the dislike towards it is fair. And don't get me wrong, a lot of it was also unnecessary and way overamplified, but a lot of it was also really fair. Now, first impressions of the game were actually extremely well received. It was a visually stunning game that reminded me a lot of Halo in the opening scene, Halo 3 in particular. I felt a lot of hope and good feelings at this point. The sound was that Gregorian chant that's just awe-inspiring and beautiful. I can't emphasize it is a visually good-looking game. Like, I was not disappointed. I know some people are comparing it to Uncharted in the PS3. I mean, they have some valid points, but it's a good-looking game. Don't ever feel it's not. So I get through that first opening stage, and I'm actually pretty happy at that point. And then I made it to the first area in the woods. I don't know what that area is called. And it was alright. There's a lot of stuff blocked off, which I understood, but I kept carrying on. The progression was nice at this point. I met the mechanic. I can't remember his name. I think it's Miles. And I'll be honest, there was reviewers like IGN. Oh my gosh, that was very dull criticism. Like after playing the game, there's so many other reasons why you would not buy this. He's a generic NPC with zero depth, and I believe it would have been better to have a robot, especially in a sci-fi universe, than him. After beating that section, I was sent to the desert, and oh my, it was odd dropping at first until the second you step on it and have to walk to the next zone, which isn't that far, but it's far enough to really dull the pacing down. And I'm thinking, alright, this is interesting, so I walked there and it's alright, but I noticed everything really lacks character and depth, like they reused assets felt really noticeable, and the spaces did not feel hand-tailored at all. Like when I played Morrowind, every space felt thought of, and they felt almost like handcrafted. I didn't get that vibe for one bit from this. So I go in and I get teased with the idea of driving my motorcycle at the front. They have you like get on it, and then you can't actually drive it. And I'm thinking, why in the world did they choose a motorcycle in such a cool universe that's supposed to be sci-fi? But nonetheless, by this point, I still am lost on what I am even doing here in the first place. Like it's been said I'm the chosen one, but what am I chosen for? Am I saving this off-branch alien planet or my home planet? And also, to just turn to stone. Like, I am also scanning everything, and honestly, what a mind-numbing task. Why am I scanning crates? And then very few things are actually worth the thought of scanning. Like, I will admit, the boss fights, for example, that's kind of cool to scan because it'll tell you the weak spots and how to do it. That's kind of interesting. But outside of that, everything is just like, why am I even scanning this? They should have definitely reduced the amount of scanning you have to do. Okay, so and then I do Tower 1, and it's okay, but I was just not having fun. The spaces weren't that cool, and the adventure aspect of it was not very deep. Like, it just felt pointless. And then it dawned on me that everything felt pointless in the game. And nonetheless, I kept going. I went for each layer of the towers and it was okay. The boss fights were better spots as they did seem to have more depth compared to everything else and even other games. However, the pattern was the same. As one writer put it, you're basically an electrician at this point. You go down, repair the thing, fight your way up, with a boss fight at the end, unlock a new tool or kit or gadget. Next. I'm okay with this sporadically in a game, but man, when it dawned that this was it and I was not having fun with it, you could just feel via everything else that it was going to continue to be like this. I just was not into it. Alright, so you finally get to see that beautiful bike, and now you have to do a training course. This is the lamest freaking tutorial, and one of the only ones I've seen past the beginning of a game, ever. Like, why do you not trust me with a simple motorcycle when we're in a sci-fi universe? Even much more advanced games do not have a second tutorial on top of something for something simple too. And I noticed something. I've not played a single long stretch of this game yet. I keep taking breaks and I do not look forward to coming back. I'm just living on optimism and ambition to get this done, maybe give an unbiased review, etc. But I just keep taking breaks. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get on another game. It's just not fun. So I came back because I'm thinking, there's no way. I have to be missing something. So I begrudgingly continue. I think overall my issue is that I have no idea what I'm even working for. Like, am I trying to escape? Am I trying to save the universe? Or am I trying to be like selfish and just become a god? So I ride off and go back to where the mechanic is, and I try to explore some of the new areas over in that green area because I got the sidekick boots, and there's literally just one hidden area for some missile capacity things. Nothing cool. I'm pretty disappointed at this point. Like, come on, like, there's no, like, I'd rather have lore, you know? So I drive to the next objective, and that is a volcano, because that is where the mechanic keeps screaming in my ear to go to. He doesn't, like, say you have to go there, but he's definitely emphasizing it. And I go there, and honestly starts picking up again. I see this badass fire temple that looks like the castle from Shrek. I think it was either Shrek 1 or 2, can't remember, but it's freaking awesome, and I'm ready to go. I'm like, finally, this game's picking up, thank God. And guess what? They literally say no. They say, sorry, you can't come, even though I told you to go here. Oh my gosh. So I try to cross it, but it's literally a death sentence, so I'm over at this point. So I go up the ramp, and there's some cutscene areas, and I end up getting the fire chip, and I'm like, sweet, now I can go. Oh wait, I have to drive all the way back to the mechanic to get this chip installed. So I do just that, and I'm bored out of my mind because this desert is there's like nothing for it. There's no random encounters. Like, you do have these like random enemies that attack you, but not to go back to Morrowind, but it's kind of like those, I think they're called hill crawlers. They're little flying things that attack you. And it's just so, like, what am I even doing? So, okay, so I get there, and it dawned on me that this fire trip isn't actually going to be used for getting across the lava at the fire temple. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm not having fun again. And I do not care to do more worthless boss fights or do the same bad dungeon crawling or drive across this overextended desert in my non-sci-fi motorcycle. So at this point, it's maybe about like 4 hours into the game, or supposedly a third of the game. I know most people end up quitting at the Ice Temple, but I just quit earlier because I was not having fun. I was not curious. I was just going for the motions. And I was already thinking about other games I wanted to play. Like, I just got Persona 5. I've never played that my entire life, or any JRPG. And I was having 10 times more fun with that. And that's literally just a life simulator. And I already had the sunken cost of 4 hours, and I just decided $70 for a not fun 12-hour game that took 20 years to make. It's just, why? Why am I doing this? Like, this is not in 2025, almost 6, when there's so many options. Why am I playing this? And so I think one other thing that really nailed the coffin is when I got into the SNES and played Super Metroid. And oh my gosh, that's a fun game. Like, I actually had 10 times more fun. It really made me understand what Metroidvania, that genre, actually looks like. And honestly, that's a blast, and it just nailed the coffin in 4 even more. So, in summary, here's what went right. Visuals are excellent. Cannot take away on this. It's a good looking game. I put it up on docked mode, even on handheld mode. Excellent. It also plays good. It's, 120 hertz, 60 frames a second. It might be more frames per second, but either way, it's a gameplay wise, like mechanically, it's a good running game. And then the sound is amazing at times. Again, I'm a big time lover of that Gregorian chant style. And there's a few bright spots, which I pointed out, but they're very, very occasional. But everything else at the core was honestly a total miss. The satisfaction and discovery is not there. The features like scanning, I'd like to understand more of the lore, it's not there. The NPCs, not there. The environment doesn't really feel that sci-fi, so it's not there either. Storytelling, you know, I hope I'm just like a bad reader or listener, but I actually tried paying attention, and again, I'm the chosen one, and that's all I know. So I don't think it's there either. The rhythm, like if you noticed in the review, it goes up and then down. It's not, I understand there's points of that in most games, but for a 12-hour game, when let's call it half of it in that 4 hours I've played, it's like that. It's just not a fun time. And the other thing too is just a basic respect for the player, you, and your intelligence and your time. That's the most important one. And I believe it's the difference between copying someone's homework and actually understanding the lesson. You look at a lot of the original Nintendo games that came out, like Animal Crossing and Pikmin, and you just look at what the original vision was versus how the more recent renditions of them are. Man, it's a totally different game. So, you got people copying homework and understanding a lesson, and in this one, it's definitely a bad copy. I know some people will say you didn't really give it a chance, or it gets better later, but here's honestly my question. Why should I? In 2025, well, almost 6, we have incredible games competing for our time. Games that respect the time from minute 1. Games that understand pacing, progression, and player engagement. When a game takes 10 plus hours to get good, that's not a feature, that's a failure of design. And you can even see that from the post-launch interviews. Like, you could tell they're scapegoating and they're sandbagging. They're saying, "Oh, we did this because of this." No, they had a failure, and it was a failure in my opinion. And when the original Super Metroid gets you hooked in literally the first minute, like I couldn't believe how good it was in literally a minute. And Prime 4 couldn't hook me in 4 hours? Well, like, why would I keep playing? And I'm sorry for my, Metroid friends and family that really enjoy that game, but it's just why? Like, why should I? So, who might like this game? I would say there's only 2 types of people who might like this game. I would say A, you're deeply invested in the Metroid lore. Like, if this is your jam, then it just makes sense. It's like Star Wars. Like, even though the not the prequels, but episode 7 through 9, even though they're not the greatest, you still watch them because you love the Star Wars lore. That's for you. This is for you, for Metroid. And the error is you have significantly more time than I do. Like, for me, I don't have much time. You go to work, you come home, you're spending time with your loved ones. You only have like few hours, maybe. Let's call it 2. So what am I gonna do? Am I gonna try and play a game I'm not having fun with, or am I gonna go play a game that I actually have fun with, or play with my friends? So that is it for my opinion. I'm sorry it's pretty negative and dull, but I'll be honest, they just totally missed the mark. And I'm their target audience too, which is a new player into the Metroid universe. And I'm a pretty casual player too. Like, I sometimes I might sound hardcore, but I'm really not. I'm pretty casual. I don't put that many hours towards games every week. I just look for games that are fun, that I can play with friends, that are cool, like Super Mario Odyssey. Oh my gosh, what a blast. But for $70, for a 12-hour game, every hour of this game must be gold. And that was not the case. I wouldn't even say there was very much gold. I would say I don't want to, put down copper, but it's like down there. It's not even silver. So let me know your thoughts, and if I should give Metroid Prime Remaster or Dread a go around. I know a lot of people say that those 2 are just fabulous, like 10 out of 10 games. And I'm down to go try them. I'm going to end up returning Metroid Prime 4 probably today or tomorrow. And I will 100% play more Super Metroid at some point. But until then, leave your thoughts below. I appreciate it, and thank you, and goodbye.